welcome home. Jerrel here. This is Mountain Home. This is our little corner of the internet where we get to share our love of the mountains, music, and everything in between. This is pretty nice and cozy. We're back here on the couch. We haven't been here in a while. Lately I've been recording in my studio because I wanted to create higher quality audio recordings for you guys so you can hear what these instruments really should sound like. So I've been using the green screen, but I think it's nice to hang out here with you guys just on the couch once in a while to keep things down to earth. I don't ever want to come across as a YouTuber or any kind of internet influencer because that's not who I am, and that's certainly not my intention. I'm just a normal, ordinary guy, and I really love the mountains and I really love the music. So this thing that I want to share with you is pretty interesting. I picked this up for about, probably $30 or something less, probably closer to $28 US. I live here in Australia, of course, but I got this from a Facebook marketplace listing sometime last year, and it was listed as a Burmese mandolin, and I thought, a mandolin with 6 strings on it, isn't that interesting? So I picked it up, and it had a tuning that was quite different, and I had this sitting around, and I always thought, I'll eventually get time, and I can learn a new tuning, but it turns out I have even less time than I did last year. So what I did was I took an extra light gauge of electric guitar strings. I think they're 8 to 32, extra slinky, and I put that on here, and I tuned it an entire octave up from a standard guitar. So this plays like a guitar, but it's an octave up, and you can hear it's just got this really wonderful sparkle to it. It's really interesting. Now, I was able to get this so cheap because there's a crack down the middle. It doesn't really affect the stability or the playability of the instrument. It would have just been built with wood that was not properly seasoned and wasn't sufficiently dry. So they assembled the instrument, and as the wood settled more, it contracted and a crack formed. Not a big deal for me. It seems to be stable. I've had it maybe about 8 months or so, and I've only had it strung up as a piccolo guitar for about a week or so, but every friend that I've let try this, every musician that's come over to my studio, I've handed this to them, and then they're just absolutely adore this thing, and eventually I kind of have to say, all right, it's my turn to use it. It's so fun. It's really fantastic, and it's got such a great sound. Now, the reason why it's got such an interesting sound is because it has a semi-curved top. As you can see, it's semi-arched, right? It's not as much as, say, for example, like a typical mandolin that you would use in bluegrass or country music or folk. So it's somewhat arched, not a whole lot. And because it has the mandolin tailpiece and the strings are applying downward perpendicular force, you get that nice punch and attack. That kind of punch and attack, it's percussive. You only get that from instruments that do have that perpendicular force being applied downward onto the top of the instrument. Of course, that means you generally have less warmth in the voice, and it's less sustain, but you have a nice punchy percussive attack. This is such an interesting instrument. If you can find yourself a Burmese mandolin, or I'm not sure, I don't understand the geopolitical implications of Burma and Myanmar, and I'm not up to date with how they refer to the instruments most currently, but if you can find yourself a 6-string mandolin, you can tune this up as a piccolo guitar an entire octave up. Now, just for comparison, I have my gold tone F12 here, and this has the similar tuning of being an entire octave up from a standard guitar, but this has paired strings, and some of them also are octave pairs. So I'll just go ahead and compare them. Now this actually has less sustain, less warmth than the Burmese mandolin. And that's because this has, verbatim, this is a standard mandolin body. And of course, because of that, you get that really lovely, powerful, percussive attack. Fantastic, lovely, but again, that means less sustain, less warmth in the voice of the instrument. Of course, the pick that I'm using on this one is too light. You should use like a heavy, a medium or a heavy on that. Whereas this one, because the string tension is a bit different from that one, benefits from lighter pick. So see if you can track one of those down. If you can get them pre-owned, I have no idea where you would buy them in a shop, but look for a 6-string mandolin or a Burmese mandolin. Really lovely. I hope you enjoyed having a listen to that. So great to spend some time with you guys. I always enjoy hearing from you in the comments. Let me know what you thought of that. Okay, everyone, take care. I've got some projects that I'm working on. I have a couple banjos I'm finishing the builds on. I'm putting the videos together. I hope you're enjoying the recent videos I've been putting up where I've been editing them and doing studio recordings so you can hear what the instruments sound like. And I'm sharing my assembly process and my projects for my builds so that you guys can also do these builds yourself. I'm trying to do them in ways where there's no gatekeeping in that, oh, I'm using all these very expensive tools, I'm using very expensive parts. I'm trying to use parts that are just readily available to basically anyone, and putting these instruments together in a way that really just about anyone, if they have a basic access to a basic set of tools, they can do these projects on and builds themselves. So I hope you're looking forward to those. I hope you've enjoyed the recent videos I've been posting. Nice being back here on the couch. It's just nice and cozy here. Take care, everyone. Lovely to see you again. You come home again soon and I'll leave the porch light on for you.